how to shift, how to change, how to actually create real, lasting change. And not just feel like maybe you've made some progress, but to actually stand in your vision, experience what it is to have a goal, have a vision, have a knowing that you could do, be, or have something greater. Welcome to the Her Matrix podcast. I am Cherie, Danielle, your host, and this is the space where healing, truth, and remembrance collide. I created this podcast because I remember what it is to be stuck in old programming and old beliefs that keep us small, hoping and wanting and wishing for more, but not quite being able to reach the other side of that. And so this is a space where you can expect all of the things: honesty, vulnerability, intimacy, transformation. We are going deep into what it is to have experienced and transmuted trauma, identity programming and beliefs, and how to shift, how to change, how to actually create real, lasting change. And not just feel like maybe you've made some progress, but to actually stand in your vision, experience what it is to have a goal, have a vision, have a knowing that you could do, be, or have something greater. Go through the process, go through the liminal space, move through, and actually stand in the 3D reality of what it is that you have created. And on that note, I want to share a little bit about what the process of even starting this podcast has been for me. I said yes to starting this podcast not only years ago and then got busy, but at the beginning of this year, I had a really beautiful friend who's also a podcast producer. We had a chat and we said, yes, this is the next step. This is what I want to do and create. 100%. Guess what? I got really, really busy again. To the point where it became not embarrassing, but like maybe a little bit embarrassing, where I had to acknowledge that I was avoiding pressing record. I was avoiding actually doing what it took to sit down and create this thing that I said that I wanted to create. Because it's only through action that we get to have our desires. When people talk about manifestation, there is the temptation to focus only on the frequency, only on the vibe, only on the visualization and the mental picture of what that all looks like, and allowing yourself to feel that in your body. That is amazing. That is necessary. But that's only the first step. It's not even step one. Right? That's the pre-game. That's like knowing what it is you want to do. That's knowing what it is you want to create, having a vision. That's like a prerequisite. Then comes the living it. Then comes all of the micro decisions. Then comes all of the micro actions and micro changes that you have to make along the way in order to be who it is you said you wanted to be, in order to do the things that you said you wanted to do. Because if you spend all of your energy and focus on the mental game, the visualization, the feeling it, and it all feels really nice. You're like, that's delicious. That's juicy. Yes, that's what I want. And I'm going to have that. Absolutely. But what are you going to do in order to experience it? Because if you sit on your cushion with your crystals all day long, you will not experience it in the 3D. You will only experience it in your mind. And that's the truth. Which brings me back to my story about this podcast, which had me last week sitting in this exact spot in a freeze response, crying, because it was so physically hard. Somatically, I was experiencing a freeze response, and to be able to sit with that experience, that discomfort, that disappointment long enough, and also take the action to keep moving forward, even though I was experiencing discomfort, even though my body was putting the brakes on, screaming at me to stop. This is not a good idea. We're going to die if we do this. To sit with that discomfort, sit with that emotion long enough to process through and take action, hit record, do it anyway. And then also, not only did I hit record and do it anyway, I shared about it on social media, like, hey, this is what it is for me right now. Because it's easy to see someone's finished product and imagine that it was easy for them to get there. And 9 times out of 10, and I'd almost say 10 times out of 10, it is not easy. It's easier for some people than it is for others, but that does not make it easy. And I think the more that we talk about this, I think the more that we are real about this, of what growth and change and transformation actually is and actually takes, I think that we're all going to realize a lot faster that it isn't meant to feel easy, and it's okay to be human. It's okay to be in the process. It's okay to be in the evolution. And it's only by going through that process that we get to where we want to go. And we get so focused on the end game and having the thing that it's easy to hate the in-between and think that we're doing it wrong, or that we're wrong, or we're not good enough, or we should be further ahead than we are right now. And that's when we get wobbly. That's where we can engage in old patterns and old behaviors that we call self-sabotage. And so I want this to be a space where we can be real. I want this to be the most honest conversation you've ever had. I want this to be a place where you can feel like your growth and your evolution is normal, is beautiful, that you're exactly where you're meant to be, doing the things that you're meant to do, and it is meant to feel whatever it is that you're feeling. And there's tools, and there's tips, and there's tricks, and there's mindset, and there's biohacking, and there's so many different things that we bring in, and we move all the pieces around, and we learn to get a lot better at the process. What feels extremely challenging in the beginning then just becomes the new normal, and then we start the process again. The next level, we have the tools and the experience, but we also have to, like I am, move through the process of being relatively crap at something until we get better. So welcome. I deeply, deeply, deeply appreciate you being here and sharing in this journey and all of the conversations that we are about to have. Cannot wait to see you next time. All my love.